Good morning. Today I'm going to introduce Don Locke, probably a person you don't know as a private person, but he's famously known in the world of watchmaker. He's a master watchmaker and he worked with everybody. Breguet, Audemars Piguet, Daniel Roth, all these, Gerald Genta, all these famous people. His specialty, Grande Complication, pocket watches. He's famously known for that here in the United States and all around the world. Today, he's going to present us a magnificent piece, and because he worked on this piece for a few weeks now, nobody better than him could present this amazing timepiece. Donald is yours.
Good morning. It's nice to present to you a timepiece that I had come across my bench from one of my best clients. He collects complications, and this happens to be one of many out of his collection. This particular watch, and the reason that I had an interest to present this watch is because through the years I have done hundreds of repeaters and perpetuals and tourbillons, and this particular piece caught my eye because it is one of the finest finished watches from 1800 that I have ever seen. The quality and the finish on this piece is top. So what it is a quarter-hour repeater. The maker is Louis Raby, who's a watchmaker from Paris, who was the horloger de emperor, which the emperor at that time was Napoleon. And this piece is a quarter-hour repeater with instantaneous jump calendar. It's day, date, month, moon phase. What we have is the gold. Out of all the repeaters I've ever worked on, I have seen them with gold trains, time trains. I have never seen a repeater with a gold train through the repeating mechanism. This is the first and only one I have ever seen. Not only is it in gold, the finish on this piece is mirror finished. The wheels are mirror finished, both sides. The bevels are mirror finished, and even inside the teeth are polished. I have never seen this level of watchmaking, and you have to understand, this piece came out of early 1800s. His contemporary at the time was Abraham Louis Breguet, amongst other very famous watchmakers. How this man remained quiet and very few people know about him is beyond me. I'll give you an idea. This is the watch with the dial off. This is the dial. So you see you have in the 12 o'clock, you have a window for the month, and then you have the date, you have the day, and of course the moon phase and the petite second hands at 6 o'clock.
And you said that the die is enamel?
Yes, it's a hard-fired enamel, beautifully polished. It's typical of its age. They did a lot of enamel work at that time period.
Could you present us more in detail with this amazing movement?
What I'm going to show you, I'm going to first take the moon phase disc off, which you could see it's actually hard-fired enamel on both sides so that it didn't warp or crack during the firing. But the blue is absolutely gorgeous. It's a beautiful azure blue, which adds to the richness of the piece. The month disc is in copper, and the months are hand engraved into the disc, and then the lettering is hard-fired black enamel. So there's no way you can damage or take the names away. Most calendar mechanisms, the names are printed. This one is fired enamel. You also have the day wheel for the date. You have the day wheel. The moon phase I took off. And if you could look down inside here, you could see one of the wheels. You could see the finish that I'm talking about. It's absolutely beautifully finished. Everything, the gilding looks like this. This watch looks like it left the factory yesterday. It is in such great condition.
And you said that in previous conversation that when you buy a pocket watch and the value of a pocket watch, it's mostly the die, the movement, and the screws.
Well, it's actually also the name,
The provenance,
the provenance,
and the complication.
and the complications,
Okay.
and fit and finish. So I'm going to show you the other side. First of all, I'll show you the cuvette, which is signed Louis Raby, horloger the Emperor, number 4,
Boulevard des Italiens.
the Italian
In
Paris. And if you look closely at the coat of arms, this is Napoleon's coat of arms. And there's engraved inside that is the N for Napoleon.
Do you think it was a commission by Napoleon?
I believe it was commissioned by Napoleon because the finish of this watch is absolutely incredible. For its age, it's 200 years old. And the quality and the finish of this piece is superb. You look at the gold train. I have seen gold trains for the time side before. I have never seen a watch that had the time train in gold and the repeating train in gold and perfectly mirror finished. The bevels, everything is perfectly mirror finished.
Can you show us the hammer and where he banged?
The hammers are located here, and the second one is up here. So if I pull the slide, it'll repeat the hour. Beautiful tone. So right now I have it set at 12 because when I put the calendar back together, it's an instantaneous jump. I have taken the balance wheel out so that it remains at 12. So when I put the hands on, they're synchronized to the timing and they're synchronized to the repeater. So everything matches.
You are currently doing a service on this pocket watch. Could you tell us the big lines and steps when you make a service? What does it mean making a service on the piece like that, and how long usually it takes?
Well, the way I do a minute repeater or any watch for that matter, I take everything apart. Every screw, everything comes apart. This watch here has over 300 parts. And like a puzzle, every part has a specific spot. On this particular one, even the screws are adjusted so that there's one spot for each screw to go into. You can't mix the screws up. What I do is when I do a repeater is I line up the screws from the tall to the small as well as the diameters of the heads so that when I look to put a piece in, I will study the hole, where it is in regards to the plate, how tall the screw has to be, and then I will go and pick the screw and try it. And if it's just a little bit too high, or if the screw sticks a little bit beyond the plate on the bottom when you turn it over, then it's not the correct screw. You take it out and you put in the next screw that is flush. Most problems that watch repairers have doing complicated pieces such as repeaters, they run into problems because the screws are put in the wrong place. So generally it takes to do a watch properly, if there's pieces that have to be refinished, if there's pieces that have to be made, it could take 2 or 3 days to do a repeater, start to finish.
And you told me that you clean everything, then you put back the movement, and then you put the movement apart, and then you put it back. What's the purpose of doing this a few times?
Well, no, usually you take it apart once, you put it in a cleaning machine, you clean it, and then you organize it by the parts. And I will organize the time train, then I'll organize the repeating train, and I'll organize, if it's got a perpetual calendar, the perpetual calendar is in one place. But it's a matter of making sure that you're putting the right piece in the right place to make sure that once it's all together, number one, you don't have to take it apart again.
Okay. And today you said that you are going to show us how to put the dial back on the piece, and also you are going to show us how to put 1 or 2 hands on such amazing piece.
Well, since I've already got this set at 12 o'clock and it struck 12, which we just listened to, what I will do is I will put the dial back in place. And then you can see how that is done. First of all, put this back on. Then we'll put the moon phase. Now the moon phase is not critical where it goes because you could adjust that independently from the time. The beauty of this is these pieces there's no wear, so they're nice and tight. On the posts, they're
Beautiful. Which is, you just put the dial on the top of the movements.
Yes, it's a friction fit dial, so you don't have to worry about the screws.
And now you are putting the hand.
So now I'm lining the hand up at 12 because it's right now
12 o'clock.
set at 12 o'clock. I put the minute hand on after. So as you can see, the hands are perfectly aligned at the midnight. Now we'll put the petite second hand. Now this hand is in a recess. It's got a long post, so I need to find the pivot. And it's being a little stubborn today. Trying to find the well, let's go on to, I'll come back to that.
And what is your feeling when you work on a piece like that, knowing that he was the watchmaker of Napoleon? He may be in the hands of Napoleon. As a watchmaker, when you work on that, what is going through your mind?
Well, to me, it's a work of art, and the fact that it was made by Napoleon kind of puts a smile on your face that this was the case.
Yeah, but this And then once you put the hands and then you are going to test the piece to make sure it works, and then basically you will ship it back to your customer.
Correct.
Okay. And also I heard that there is another gem coming, an amazing piece that you're currently working on, and I think it's going to be our next visit. Could you tell us just a little bit about it? Or?
Well, it just so happens I have it here. It belongs to my same client. It is a Zenith, which I also have taken the dial off, which is up here. It is a grand and petite sonnerie, which means that as the time is running at the hours and the quarter hours, it automatically strikes. So on petite sonnerie, it'll strike the hour on the hour automatically. It also has a button so that you could do it on demand as well. It'll strike on the hours, and on the quarter hours, it'll go 2 gongs, ding, 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 for each quarter hour. And on grand sonnerie, it'll repeat the hour on the quarter plus strike the quarter. So it's a grand and petite sonnerie. It's a beautiful watch, also very well finished. And this piece will be the next piece. As you can see, there's 2 mainsprings. You have a time side and you have a strike side. They're both wound through the center. But unlike this repeater that you pull the slide to get it to repeat, this one does it automatically as the hours come past as the hands come past the hour or the quarter hour, it'll automatically strike.
Okay.
So a little more complicated.
The Zenith.
The Zenith.
Okay. And also when you have free time, I know you developing your own brand called Download. You started to do a chrono, and there is a line coming. I know there is a big complication coming also. Could you brief us a few seconds of what you are currently working on your own line?
Well, I'm happy to say, first of all, I have my dress chronograph, which is, actually, this is the dial for it. I don't have the cased one here. Our dear friend Gary is wearing my watch right now. But this is the D-Loc chronograph. And it's cased in a titanium case. But beyond this, I am manufacturing my own movement. And I am happy to report that as of last week, I have received the patent number. I have patented my double escapement. And that escapement is going to be it's a chronometer escapement, direct impulse to the balance in both directions, which has been done originally by Abraham Louis Breguet. It's been done by Kari Voutolainen and a lot of famous watchmakers, but they all, and including George Daniels, they all release the energy through a lever, and my escapement is a spring detent escapement in both directions. It's the first of its kind, and I'm happy. I'm working on the prototype as we speak, and we're looking at having a finished piece in the next year.
You had a long-term collaboration with Daniels.
Well, I've known George. George and I met. I was a director of the AWI, which is now the AWCI, and I was responsible during the 30-year convention of putting the exhibition together, and I brought in handmade pieces from all over the world. George happened to be a guest speaker we had at the time, and so I sat down with George, and he's the one who he convinced me to design my own escapement and to go for it. And I had an idea with direct impulse. I discussed his direct impulse escapement in both directions and the problems that he ran into. And it took me 5 years to figure out how to get around the problem. And generally it was a problem of tripping. And I have since figured out and patented my escapement, and I am looking forward to put that new escapement on my wrist.
Okay. Well done. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing this amazing timepiece and also how to work a little bit. We will see you very soon, and you will keep us updated with your own work for your own brand, and also for the coming piece, the Zenith. And I also know that you have another one, but this is so far exceptional. Thank you so much, and you can see the work of done on this website and also on IW magazine. Thank you to you, and see you very soon.
Thank you very much.